Boogu-Image has been released by the Boogu project team, and this image model is released under Apache 2.0 license, which is a great thing for open source users. Here it says, this is a unified multimodal model. So the model is not limited to text-to-image generation and can understand and generate content across multiple modalities using a single architecture. So the model can generate images and is capable of editing the images as well. The safe-tensor file released are the base variant, turbo, and the edit model. The highlight mentioned are about precise photography, diverse and stable text rendering, which is useful when it comes to posters, stamps, making creative images based on different layouts. The model understands different styles like 3D scenes and anime styles, and it is also capable of transferring styles. Next, it says about the image editing part. Image editing like adding or removing objects, background replacement, style transfer, while keeping the subject and composition coherent. Below are some poster and product rendering examples, which looks promising. And then the precise text editing. The image below is edited by adding text, and the text added goes very well with the overall image. In comparison with other models, this model has a decent rating, but I doubt if it is equal to the Z-image. As far as I understand, open source editing models are not realistic. The image needs to be processed again to make it look real. These are details about the models released. First is the base model, which is a 10 billion parameter model, and the number of steps required to generate an image is between 25 and 50 steps. Also, the CFG value should be between 2 and 5. The recommended CFG is 4. There is a demo given on the right, which will take us on Hugging Face space. There are a few example prompts. These prompts have the context on top except this one. So I will try generating and see what this is about. The settings in this demo must be the recommended settings, so the model is capable of generating a 1024 pixel image. And the number of steps is 50 with CFG value at 4, as we saw on GitHub just now. So the prompt was about a dog, and the image looks good to me. I will try one more. This is an advertisement prompt, and this is the result generated. After translating the prompt, I matched the image with the translated prompt. In this section where it says, image is suitable for city-themed dragon boat festival. There are boats in the image, but this is not a dragon theme. It looks like a regular boat. So we also have the FP8 version of the base model for systems with smaller memories. Next, we have the image edit model and the FP8 version of the image edit model, which is smaller than the one above. A similar demo is present here, and there are a few examples given below. I tried the last example, where the angle of the image should be lower and the woman should be punching the man. The camera angle is still the same, but the woman is in action. Still, I was expecting better. Next, we have the turbo model and the smaller version of the turbo model. Note that the turbo model can produce a finished result in 4 steps, with a CFG value of 1, which means there are no negative prompts. The model is shared on Hugging Face by Boogu team, and Comfy UI had also created a repository with the models. Below is the folder structure, and we also have an NVFP4, which works fast on a Blackwell card. But I think you should be using the FP8 model instead of NVFP4. There's also a LoRa present in the repository, and note that this LoRa should not be used with a turbo model. You may experiment with negative weights though. This LoRa should be used with the base models. Next, we have the Text Encoder and the VAE. So these are the diffusion models. I will download and see how it works in Comfy UI. Make sure you update Comfy UI using the update batch file. Run this file if you are on the stable version of the Comfy UI. Right now, the support for this image model is only in the nightly version of Comfy UI and should be released in stable version after a few days. The text-to-image model is working great. I'm using the Turbo BF16 model. You need to make sure that in the clip loader, you should select this as Boogu. If you do not see this option, then it means your Comfy UI is not updated on the latest nightly version. My prompt was about a red panda holding a sign that says Boogu, and it was generated in 4 steps. The Turbo model I am using is fast and can generate images within 10 seconds. I made a few changes here. The model used above is the Turbo BF16 model, and below is the base BF16 model. Both the workflows are sharing the same clip node, the empty latent node, and the VAE. The prompt used in both the workflow are also the same. But the image generated by both the models is different, even when I prompted for a realistic-looking image. The settings used in both workflows are similar with small changes. The changes were necessary, like these 2 values. I had also added the LoRa with a base model, which we saw on Hugging Face, but I have not used it. And there's also a negative prompt node with some commonly used negative prompt I picked from the below notes. I tried a combination of a different sampler and scheduler. The one that worked was Euler and simple. The image generation time for the base model with 50 steps is around 200 seconds on 5060 Ti 16 GB. And now after 200 seconds, I got the result. The result generated looks fine but not realistic in comparison to the Turbo model. This does not mean that the model is bad. I have to try a combination of a different scheduler and sampler. The image was improved when I used the Turbo LoRa by decreasing the total steps and CFG. Time taken was around 23 seconds, and the result generated was better than before. The image on the right is generated using the base model with a LoRa. It took 8 steps, and the result is impressive. I am using a long, detailed prompt, and I was not able to get an image realistic enough to be compared with the Z-image model. And you should ignore the third image. As said before, this model is capable, but I have to find the best combination of sampler and scheduler. Prompt adherence is visible even when the base model is used with the Turbo LoRa. The result generated with 8 steps has the details specified in the prompt. Let's not use this until this is figured out. The difference between Turbo and base model is clearly visible. The model also understands celebrity names, which I tried but did not record. This model is definitely worth playing around. Passing the result once again through Z-image should improve this creativity. The base model failed here, and the image needs to be photoshopped. But the interesting point here is the prompt was complex, and this expense chart generated exactly as per the shown calculation. This model is interesting and can take on large prompts, and will give us an image within 20 seconds on my lower end card. A flagship card will produce an image within 5 seconds. Let me know in the comments. The workflow will be shared in the description. Ignore this section. The first and second workflow you should be looking at for now. So that was it in this video. I will try the edit model and post an update on it. I hope the video was interesting and useful. I wish you an excellent day.